Hey, everybody. Hope that you're having a great day. Hope things are well. Hope you're enjoying your time, able to get outside maybe a little bit and enjoy the cool weather, but the weather that seems to be warming up just a little bit. We are continuing on in the Gospel of John. We are in chapter 7 today, and Jesus has now gone after he said he's the bread of life in chapter 6, after some of the disciples who were kind of on the fringe have left Jesus, and Peter has said, hey, we have nowhere else to go. We believe you are the Messiah. Now, Jesus continues, and he's in Galilee, and the Jews in Judea, they're celebrating a holiday called the Feast of Booths. And they call it booths because they would live in a shelter outside of their homes. And it was a time of a celebration of the Jews from their time of wandering in the desert before they got to the promised land. It's also a time of a harvest celebration. And Jesus says, I'm not going to go into Judea. And yet he does, because the Jewish people are looking to kill him, and they're looking to say, this guy isn't right. There's something wrong, and we don't want him speaking. And yet Jesus ends up there, and he goes into the temple. It's like he can't resist being in the temple and teaching. And so he goes and he teaches, and they're wondering, like, man, how is this guy teaching? He's never had formal training. And Jesus explains, hey, in verse 16, he says, my teaching is not mine, but his who sent me. And he goes on, he says, if anyone's will is to do God's will, he will know whether the teaching is from God or whether I am speaking on my own authority. The one who speaks on his own authority seeks his own glory, but the one who seeks the glory of him who sent him is true, and in him there is no falsehood. I just want to dwell on that passage for a moment. I was talking to someone the other day, and we were looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 3 about where's our foundation. Is it in the gold and the silver and the precious stones, or does it come in the wood and the hay and the straw? Because that stuff ultimately gets burned and can't be refined. And if you try to refine it, go out and try to refine some straw, it's going to burn up. But you can go and refine the gold so it becomes shinier and more polished. And my point to the person was, what's the motivation for all that you do? Is it, even in the midst of our sinfulness, is it still to bring glory and honor to God? Or is it to bring glory and honor to yourself? And it's, how do I check that motivation? Because sometimes we can deceive ourselves. We can say, well, I'm gonna tell this person about so-and-so's issues because we need to pray for them. But really what I want to do is gossip about them and tell some stories about someone else, which then makes me look good. But I do it in the name of Jesus. So the point that Jesus is making, and it's really an important point for us in the way that we live our lives, is what's my motivation for all that I do? And he was saying that's his motivation. The one who speaks on his own authority is seeking his own glory. But the one who speaks for the glory of God, that's the one who is honoring God. That's the one who doesn't, I don't want glory. It's all for God. And so I would really encourage you, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, whoever you're talking to, whatever you're sharing, is it edifying? Is it glorifying God, or is it putting someone down? Because the world we live in right now is a tough place. Our goal, our call, is to glorify God. Have a great day, and God bless you.